Welcome back to Freight Lane TV, and today I have a 1998 E36. So this is a 1998 323, but with a 2.5 inline six. Don't ask me why they do that, I have no idea. They made these E36s from 1990 to year 2000, and it is becoming a little bit of a classic, these ones. You know, there's a lot of BMWs about, but these are a future classic. Real nice shape to a 3 Series. So let's talk about that stance. These, what we reckon are on stance plus coilovers, that is not, I'll get down low and show you, that is not the lowest they'll go. They'll go down a bit more as well, but I think that's a nice ride height, and it really does set the car off. As you can see by the mirrors, they ain't standard mirrors. They are E39 BMW M5 mirrors, and they really set it off really nice. But you know, it is very low. It's not, if you think you're going to get over the speed bump and it, you're off your head, because it ain't going to happen. But I think as it's set there, that is a perfect ride height for that car. It really does make it look so good. So let's talk about the rear end on this car. That is a Maxon Designs rear diffuser. It's a little bit different. It sort of reminds me of like a touring car sort of diffuser, but it really does, you know, stand out. It looks really aggressive from the back of it. And then we have to talk about that. It's kind of like when he first put it on, because I know him very well, when he first put it on, I was like, what the hell have you done? But I generally really like it. We're not sure what it is. We just know it's a BMW spoiler. Not sure on the make, but it really does sort of set the car off at the back. And I don't think it's too over the top. Reminds me a little bit of like a Scooby sort of spoiler, but I think it's a GT spoiler. But looks really smart and really sets the car off nice at the back. So another nice little feature of this car. We'll talk interior wise. These bucket seats, we're not actually sure what make they are, but they really are nice seats. I came in, I didn't drive it here. I sat in the passenger seat, and they are proper hugging seats. Really nice seats. And then you've got the boys that specialise in steering wheels, always very good. You hear a lot about them, the Kode. Kode steering wheel really sets it off. And we also have a Kode gear knob as well. That has a short shifter on it as well. But inside, it's nothing over the top and fancy. You know, a little aftermarket stereo. It's not fancy, but it's subtle and it's nice, and it's, you know, sort of a real nice place to be with it. Right, so Shaun, who owns the car, he's letting me drive it. He don't let anyone drive his car, and he's letting me drive it. So I'm going to be honest with you, I'm shit scared of driving it. I'll tell you why. Because if there's a feather in the road, I feel like it's going to scrape. It's just one of them cars that, maybe it's just my old age, but it's yeah, it's, for me, I'm like, ooh, little bump or anything like that. But the suspension's not too hard, actually. It's actually quite nice, and these seats are just absolute to die for. They just really hug you in really well. So let's talk about the engine. It's a 2.5, 170 horsepower. Not quickest in the world. You know, it does. These BMW engines, though, they really do sound good. That straight six is raspy, and it's a lovely sound in it, and when you really put your foot down, you can really hear it. Like I say, 170 horsepower on this one. Fuel wise, on a run, they went to a little trip the other week, went to Skegness, and I think they did there and back on just over half a tank. So not, you know, not awful on fuel. I mean, not great, but you know, it's a 2.5, you know, BMW engine. It's not going to be the most economical car in the world, is it? So I find with this, for me, I couldn't drive it every day. The lad who owns it, he's 6 foot something. I'm only, people will debate this, 5'4", 5'8". It's one, I'm going to say 5'6" in between. 3'2", yeah. But it's once you get used to it, it's not too bad. For me, like I say, it is a bit too low for me, but you know, for someone who's tall, it's ideal. It drives really nice, clutch feels good, brakes feel good. These Kode steering wheels are amazing steering wheel. It just makes it a little bit more special driving it. I know it sounds really silly, but they're a nice feeling steering wheel, and it just makes it a nice driving experience having it. I know it's just a steering wheel, but you ask anyone, you go from a standard steering wheel to a modified one like this, and you really do tell the difference. So the lad who, like I said to you earlier, is about 170 horsepower. The lad who owns this car has just bought a supercharger off a Merc SLK. Now it's an Eaton supercharger with sort of mapping and everything else. You're looking to go from 170 to about 260 horsepower, and as you know, with a supercharger, the noise they make as well will really set this car off really nice. We'll sort of go from a stancy, you know, really nice looking car to something that's stancy and a nice looking car with a lot more punch with it as well. So on this 1998 E36, my summary of it, car tax on it is sort of £260 a year, insurance is £350 a year. For me, it's not an everyday car. I mean, he doesn't use it every day. He's got a little car he runs about in. This is a show car. This is a car you park up and you go to your meets with and you go to shows in. It's a show car. It's not made for, I wouldn't say it's not made, it can be used every day, but you get a speed bump and you're in trouble. There's not a chance you're going to get over it. For me, being older, I like it. I think it's a cool car. The older cars are so much cooler. They're such a nice little thing to have, you know, compared to new cars with everything. Just old cars are cool. Like, once again, thank you very much for joining me with this one. I hope you like a bit more of the car stuff, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.